Love fades not because it dies, but because attachment blinds the mind that once saw clearly. Zen proverb. The silence after affection. In the quiet folds of human emotion, love begins as a flame, soft, bright, and nurturing. It warms two souls that share laughter, moments, and silence. Yet, the same flame can grow dim when the heart begins to drift. It doesn't extinguish in an instant, it flickers, hesitates, and slowly loses its light. The most painful truth is that love seldom leaves with words. It departs in silence, through subtle changes, through eyes that no longer linger and gestures that no longer reach. Zen teaches that the mind mirrors all transformations before the body expresses them. When affection fades, the stillness of the spirit is replaced by resistance and withdrawal. Love no longer flows freely, it gets filtered through doubt and disconnection. Understanding this transition is not to dwell in sorrow, but to awaken, to see the impermanence of attachment and the peace that lies beyond emotional dependence. Zen does not see lost love as punishment. It sees it as movement, one form of energy completing its cycle. When the universe closes one connection, it whispers that another form of harmony awaits. But before the detachment becomes clear, the signs unfold through three subtle yet unmistakable transformations. This teaching explores those three signs through the eyes of Zen wisdom, offering both the pain and the enlightenment hidden beneath them. The first sign, the soul withdraws before the words do. When someone no longer loves you, the first sign is not spoken, it is felt. The presence that once sought you now begins to escape you. Not through arguments, but through an absence of energy. Zen calls this the empty presence, being with someone, yet not truly with them. A person who once glowed in your company now turns cold not because anger fills them, but because detachment has begun. Their body may remain, but their spirit retreats into silence. Conversations feel thinner, responses shorter. And the once shared laughter becomes effortful. This is not cruelty. It is nature reminding you that attachment cannot chain love. Every emotion, when forced to stay beyond its time, transforms into weight. In Zen, such detachment is the beginning of dissolution, not destruction, but transition. When the heart no longer beats in harmony with another, silence replaces music. To the unawakened mind, this silence feels like rejection. To the mindful soul, it feels like a mirror showing impermanence. When love begins to fade, it is not a failure of affection, it is the universe's reminder that clinging creates suffering. What once brought peace now stirs confusion. The enlightened one observes without grasping, accepts without complaint, and releases without resentment. Love is not possession. It is permission for energy to move freely. When someone's presence turns hollow, it means the soul seeks another rhythm. You can fight it with tears or embrace it with wisdom. Both paths hurt, but only one frees you. In Zen reflection, the first sign, the quiet withdrawal, is sacred. It teaches that stillness is not always peace. Sometimes it is the prelude to transformation. The second sign, conversations lose meaning. The second sign reveals itself in speech. Words become shallow. Once, your thoughts met theirs like rivers joining, now, they flow apart. When love fades, communication shifts from soul to surface. The person speaks not to connect but to conclude. Small talk replaces deep talk, politeness replaces curiosity, and excuses replace presence. The same words that once carried warmth now feel distant, like echoes from another time. Zen philosophy explains that the tongue is not the true speaker, the heart is. When the heart disconnects, even beautiful words lose their fragrance. You will notice pauses where connection used to breathe. Messages that once arrived swiftly now take time, or do not come at all. This shift is not coincidence. It is karmic rhythm. When two energies no longer align, their communication naturally dissolves. The spiritual cord between them weakens, and silence grows heavy. In Zen temples, monks learn the art of listening to silence. They sit in meditation, hearing the unspoken truth behind words. When someone no longer loves you, listen to the silence between their sentences. That silence holds more truth than any declaration. Attachment blinds us to this. We often try to revive a dying bond with more words, more explanations, more pleading. But the more we chase, the faster the silence expands. Zen teaches, stop chasing echoes. When the river dries, do not dig the mud, wait for new rain. To love wisely is to allow communication to end without bitterness. Words are like petals, they fall when their time passes. You cannot tape them back to the flower. The second sign, though painful, teaches mastery of emotional detachment. It reveals that connection sustained only by words is illusion. True love breathes through silence, not speech. When that breath ends, so does the illusion. The third sign, indifference replaces emotion. The final and most unmistakable sign comes quietly but cuts deeply, indifference. Indifference is colder than anger. It carries no fire, only emptiness. When someone once loved you, they reacted to your emotions, they cared, they responded, they tried. When love fades, reaction disappears. Your pain meets no empathy, your joy receives no echo. They no longer argue, not because peace has arrived, but because attachment has ended. Zen calls this mushin, no mind. It is the state where emotion no longer binds action. For the awakened, mushin is enlightenment. For the unprepared lover, it feels like abandonment. When indifference enters, love has already departed. You sense it not through what they do, but through what they no longer do. No more effort, no more concern, no more spark. They exist beside you like a shadow that forgot its source. Yet, this moment is sacred in Zen understanding. Because in this emptiness, truth awakens. You realize that no one belongs to you, not even those who once whispered eternal devotion. Love cannot be owned, it can only be shared while it flows. Indifference is the universe saying, let go. It is the closing of a karmic circle. What begins with passion must end with clarity. Zen does not resist this end, it bows to it, knowing that endings are merely transitions in disguise. When someone stops caring, respond not with anger but awareness. Anger binds you to their absence, awareness frees you from it. The wise one does not ask, "Why did they stop loving me?" But instead, "What did their departure awaken within me?" Love lost is not love wasted. It is love completed. The Zen proof of impermanence. Every form in this world arises, transforms, and dissolves. The moon fades to darkness before shining again. Rivers shift courses. Flowers bloom only to wilt. Why would love be any different? In Zen, attachment is the root of suffering because it denies impermanence. When someone no longer loves you, you face the ultimate mirror, your attachment to continuity. The pain you feel is not from their absence but from your resistance to change. To accept impermanence is to awaken. To cling is to suffer. Letting go does not mean erasing memory. It means bowing to the truth that all emotions, even the sweetest, are guests. Love visits, teaches, and leaves. Only the lesson remains. The enlightened heart watches love come and go as calmly as the seasons. It knows that loss is not the opposite of love, it is part of love's rhythm. The parable of the silent garden. In a quiet temple garden, a monk once tended 2 trees, one flourished in spring. The other shed leaves early. When asked why he did not cut the fading tree, the monk replied, "Because beauty is not in the bloom, but in the awareness of its passing." Love is like those trees. One grows, the other fades. But both serve the same purpose, to teach impermanence. When someone stops loving you, your heart feels like that fading tree. Yet in that fall of leaves lies the seed of awakening. Zen wisdom asks you to observe, not to judge. Let the falling leaves remind you that endings are sacred. Through detachment, you rediscover peace, not in the company of another, but in the embrace of your own awareness. The path of acceptance. Acceptance is not surrender. It is clarity. When love fades, the unenlightened self seeks closure from others. The awakened one finds closure within. You cannot force a heart to stay where it no longer feels harmony. You can only bow, breathe, and release. Every bond broken by truth opens a path to deeper peace. Zen masters say, the more you chase what leaves, the longer you delay what is meant to arrive. Do not beg for love to return, cultivate the love within. What departs was never yours, it was an experience gifted for your growth. Letting go gracefully is the highest form of strength. When you release with understanding, you dissolve karmic cycles. You stop reliving the same emotional lessons under new faces. You become whole. The reflection of the teachings. When someone no longer loves you, it is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your awakening. The 3 signs, withdrawal, hollow speech, and indifference, are not curses but invitations to enlightenment. They ask you to stop clinging to what is fading and start embracing what is eternal, your inner stillness. Every heartbreak, when met with awareness, becomes meditation. Every silence, when accepted, becomes serenity. The same love that once brought attachment now brings liberation. When someone no longer loves you, remember, they are not your enemy. They are your teacher, they are not rejecting you. They are redirecting you, they are not taking love from you. They are returning you to yourself. The Zen path does not promise that love will always stay, but it assures that the peace within you never leaves. Love deeply, but hold lightly. Speak kindly, but expect nothing. Walk away, but with gratitude. The world changes, hearts drift, but the awakened mind remains unmoved, like the moon reflecting in every passing wave. The stillness beyond loss. Sit in silence. Feel the breath enter and leave. Observe your thoughts of pain without judgment. The person who no longer loves you is no longer your focus, the present moment is. Love transforms, but awareness endures. When someone no longer loves you, bow gently to the lesson. Let the absence of their affection become the presence of your enlightenment. For in Zen wisdom, to lose love is not to lose life, it is to return to the source where love began, the quiet, infinite, compassionate heart within you.